Actually, the channels that I find one of the most important channels is the audience mics.
Hmm. Interesting. What kind of mics do you usually use? Like shotguns?
No, well, so I'm using 6 at the moment.
Okay.
So I have 2 shotgun mics and 2 like large diaphragm condensers on each side of the stage, and then I have some Neumann like pencil just attached to a guitar and the bass player's vocal mic stand, and that gives me a nice spread of what's happening. You know, I just feel like, you know, they come on stage, you know, they hit the deck, ram those audience, make them like, you know, feel like, you know, they're and then all of a sudden kill it, you know, and then you just got to pay attention to what the crowd's doing, just feeding in and out, just, you know, so to make them feel good. It's all about the feel, you know, and I also use 2 subs aside just to kind of make them feel something. I've got no wedges at all on my stage. It's just 2 subs. I did the same with Queen of the Stone Age, was just subs aside, and that just creates, it's an extension. I run them in, it's like 2 B22s in, just like, you know, like, what's the word? Infra. That's why I'm running them in infra. So it's an extension of what, you know, we're hearing, and it just works. You know, the whole drums kind of comes alive, and yeah, they just, you know, make them feel good.
Yeah. You're all on in-ears with Queens?
Yeah, same, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Donato, do you usually use side fills or subs when you're...
I try not to. It just clutters the mix, man. You know, like, that's just me. You know, like, yeah, I mean, if they want it, I'll take it, you know. Most of the time, just after a while, like years ago when I started with 30 Seconds to Mars, we had, like, you know, side fills and everything. And with
I would
like,
imagine.
well, you know what? It was kind of like, oh, lower it, lower it. Then I did like 3 months. We're just rigging them and they were off. And then I was just like, just kill it. And of course, Jared's like, why are they not there? I'm like, we haven't used them in 3 months. You don't need them.
Yeah.
Really? No, you don't. You don't. And then you're like, huh? Yeah, we don't. Exactly.
Donato.
Why? You've got like something in your ears. Like, don't clutter it. You know, just try to keep everything. It's the same, you know, like we're trying to help front of house by just keeping the stage like quiet and everything. Then you have these side fills that are flown, and we just blast the stage, and it's like, so now, like, well, we're back to, might as well just be on wedges.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's the interaction of front of house monitors, just trying to kind of, you know.
Well, I mean, it's important to kind of have that team going too, where you can trust each other to know that the other person you're giving the other person enough so that they're getting what they need and helping each other out. Absolutely, it's a team effort. But Donato, do you use side fills usually, subs on stage? Or?
Well, you know, I'll use whatever I need to use, you know, for the artist, to give them what they need. Right now, with Bon Iver, I use tactile transducers. I came into the band and they were already like on what was sort of like level 1 design of using these. They're thumpers basically, but I kind of redesigned the system to the way I wanna utilize it. And so I kind of feel like I've optimized it now because we're on risers. We're on 6 risers that get wheeled out onto the stage. I have tactile transducers that I've built into the risers. So I have 4 of these on each riser. So I'm able to actually thump them from below. I'm actually able to produce like bass and that feeling that you're getting from subs without having all the volume and all the, you know, all the clutter on the deck. And it's sort of, I'll be honest with you, it's sort of changed the way I work because now I could put anything in them, you know, they're full range. I actually do. I throw acoustic guitars in them. I put anything I want in them. It's another mix for me. It's another tool for me to utilize. And also what I'm doing is I'm splitting the signal that's going to the ears and putting it back into their body. So now that I'm noticing they're using less bass, they're not asking for it anymore in their ears.
Yeah.
They're not asking for kick drum anymore in their ears. They're asking for it in their feet. They're asking for it in their body, you know, and they'll turn to me and just give me that. And I know boom, I need to nail them. I need to nail them with the thumps. And all of a sudden it's cleaned my mixes up. I'll be honest with you. It's cleaned them up so much that I'm able to do some really fun stuff now with all, with all the stuff that was getting, clouded up prior,
That's cool. So like who makes the tactile transducers?
A bunch of companies do. I've demoed a bunch when I was redesigning the rig, but the ones I use are let me think. Clark Synthesis.
Clark Synthesis, cool.
And
how big are they?
Great.
Like they're like certain size squares that you can stand on. Is that right?
They're speakers. They're transducers.
They're okay.
It's like a thumper, depending on how you want to use it. It'll pass full range, but I'm using it in many different ways. Sometimes I just kick through it. Sometimes I could put anything into it. And
so you're shaking the whole riser, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
and as you know, bass frequencies, they travel. It's all about the point of contact. So these are actually in contact with the riser. So instead of throwing noise on stage or more low frequencies or what I'm actually doing is it's tactile. Hence the name.
Yeah.
You're actually feeling it in your feet, shins, and I upgraded our amp retinue. So right now I've got enough power. I mean, you could stand on that riser and say hit me and I could bounce you off that riser. It's fun, it's another tool. That's all it is another tool. And I'm lucky enough to have a crew and an artist that gives me the ability and the leeway, and the budget to, I could go to them and say, I got an idea. It sounds nutty. I want to upgrade this idea, or I want to try this. They'll say, go for it. Demo it, bring it in, hit me with it. If it stinks, it stinks. Oh, well, if it doesn't, wow, so.
Yeah. But that's part of developing that relationship with an artist too, right? Is if they trust you and you come to them and say, hey, like I have this idea, they're much more likely to say yes, spend the money to try it out. For sure.
Well, the thing is you're also changing the way they experience things. It can, things could be game changers. I know you've heard that term, but when you really see it happen, it's interesting because it changes your workflow. It changes the show. It changes, how artists listen and hear things. And I mean, nothing I'm doing is highbrow or, out of the realm of any individual. The technology exists. Plug that into that, try that, pop that into that. What happens? Oh no, we blew it up. Okay, try this, try that. It all exists. It's just a matter of putting it together in new and unique ways.
Yeah.